Today we're going to talk about coffees from Ethiopia. Does this country have the best coffees in the world? We're going to talk about 3 reasons why that might be the case today. Let's go. I am going to Ethiopia to continue my quest to find the best coffees in the world this November. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can go on that adventure with me. It's gonna be my most epic adventure yet. All right, let's dive right in. So 900 years ago, there was a little goat herder boy in the mountains of Ethiopia. His name was Kaldi. And one day he noticed his goats were dancing hysterically. Upon further investigation, Kaldi noticed that the goats eating these red cherries from this little tree. Well, like any good human would do, Kaldi puts the fruit in his mouth. He also felt hyper and ecstatic and joyful, and he probably danced. Little did Kaldi know that fruit that he put in his mouth is actually the raw form of coffee. And that is the story of Kaldi and the dancing goats, and how coffee and humans came together. So Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee, and in fact, all of the coffee that's grown around the world actually came from Ethiopia. So it stands to reason that Ethiopia could have the best coffee in the world. I've got 3 reasons today why that might be the case, so let's dive right in. Number 1, Ethiopia is home to the widest variety of coffee genetics. If you watched my last video about Kenyan coffees, I discussed coffee genetics, coffee subgenetics called varietals. And Ethiopia is actually home to the most abundant amount of coffee varietals. And they're all heirloom varietals, meaning they're indigenous to the land. Well, most countries only harvest about a dozen different coffee varietals. Ethiopia is home to literally 10,000 different heirloom genetic varieties. That gives you a higher probability of discovering something that is unique, possibly delicious. Ethiopia has the genetic odds working for it. Reason number 2, coffee and humans may have evolved together in the same environment over hundreds of thousands of years. Ethiopia is considered the cradle of human civilization, and it's also considered the birthplace of coffee. Because humans co-evolved with coffee in Ethiopia, perhaps Ethiopia provides the perfect environmental conditions to satisfy human preferences for coffee. Possibility number 3, coffee in Ethiopia is seen as much more than a drink. In fact, coffee in Ethiopia is a part of a deep and long cultural ceremony that is practiced on a regular basis, and it has a deep and meaningful context within their society. Sometimes these coffee ceremonies can last for hours, and sometimes these coffee ceremonies are used as a way to connect spiritually with God. There's no easy way to measure how this impacts the quality of coffee in Ethiopia, but think about it like this. Germans and their beer. Are they good at brewing beer? Absolutely. And think about pho in Vietnam. Is anybody better at making pho than the Vietnamese? Probably not. But it stands to reason that whenever a thing is at the cultural center of a large or even small society, they do it very well. They take care of that thing from A to Z, with much more detail and emphasis than any other group of people will on the planet. And in my opinion, that is a strong reason why the coffee out of Ethiopia might be the best coffee in the world.